This leads us into our next session, guys, which is our digital circle. And I'm joined by a great panel of experts here. We've got Sebastian Forget, President and CEO of Solutions Metrics. Hello, Sebastian.
Hello, Eric.
All
Hello,
right,
Gabriela.
I should say. And Gabriela Gonzalez, COO at Go Virtual. Nice to see you again, Gabriela.
Thank you, Eric. Hi, everyone.
All right. Well, today we're going to be discussing rethinking your customer service strategy in 2022 and beyond. Talk about strategies, trends to watch, etc. Let me just stop sharing my screen so we can all fit beautifully on the screen for the audience here. So wonderful, guys. What I would like to kick off our topic with is trends, right? What trends are we seeing that are going to lead to success in 2022 and beyond when it comes to customer service? I know both of you live in this world. This is an area of expertise for both of your organizations. So what are you seeing as the trends that will lead to success in 2022 and beyond for customer service? I'll throw it out to whoever wants to start.
Mm-hmm. So I can start if you want. So one trend definitely that's it's coming. It's right now. We talked a lot about in the past years of digital transformation and embark on the digital journey. For sure, your digital experience needs to match your traditional customer experience that you're having by engaging, in a traditional way with your customer. So both are super important and they cannot be siloed anymore. So I cannot interact with a customer who calls me, for example, without knowing the problem or what you visited on my webpage, what you've seen, what is track record. This is not, won't be acceptable anymore in a close future. So it's not like we have the digital thing and then we have the traditional ways of servicing our customer, and they're really siloed. So we talked a lot about the omni-channel experience and part of the digital transformation. So and the good thing about low code is it's not a 5-year project either, right? So that we can have some really rapid return on investment and tactical thing that we can put forward. But definitely aligning the digital with the traditional is something super important. Super important. I'm pretty sure Gabriela sees the same or see the same thing as well on our side.
Yeah, we definitely agree. And yeah, I mean, to add on what you just said, Sebastian, customer experience is no longer an optional function to any organization, right? This is, and I would say the key word here, or the key aspect here is customer experience is all about how the customer perceives us and how they feel our brand, right? So that is very important, and this is one of the most critical things and strategical aspects of any company. And this has been changing in the previous years, right? What makes the personality of my brand, right, feel my customers on a certain way. And the word here is perceived. I also think that the previous, or what pandemic caused, all the changes, we all went from brick and mortar to a digital world. I think that this is very important to consider, because that not only happened to us, it almost also happened to our customers, right? So we need to focus on the digital aspect, as Sebastian just said. And it is not about one or another channel. The world now is omni-channel, so we need to focus on creating one single experience to our customers. So I think that is the most critical trend if we think of all of the changes that we've been experiencing in the previous 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that they're actually very, very good points. And Sebastian, to your first point, making that experience seamless, right? And you use the word omni-channel. I can go back a number of years when we used to call it multi-channel customer service, right? And it was multi-channel. And I remember that shift to omni-channel, because it wasn't enough just to provide service on a channel, right? You can open up channels, voice channel, email channel, other digital channels. But if that experience wasn't connected, it really wasn't the best experience. So creating that that same experience, that consistent experience across all channels is ultimately important, and what leads to that customer experience. And Gabriela, you bring up a good point in terms of that digital experience. I was at a customer a week ago where I visited a contact center for my first on-site meeting, and I don't know how long. It was amazing, and it was like a 200-person contact center. But there were maybe 50 people working in there, and I was like, "Well, where is everybody? Are they in different shifts? Are they, working?" And they were like, "Well, no, we have like 50 people in house to keep them spread out on the contact center floor, and the rest are home, working from home." So, how do you create that digital experience for people that aren't in that connected contact center to make that happen? So very, very good points, guys. And I think you're absolutely right. It's the perception, right? It is that perception of customer experience. And Seb, you gave on your opening speech some great statistics around that, right? Like customers will leave your brand. You'll be able to increase profits if you're providing that better customer experience.
Absolutely. And you talk about having employee remote for customer experience. Once you're crafted the journey you want your customer to go through when they're dealing with you, being on site or remote, it has become okay. So that's why the journey you also need, and that's why one of the reasons of the low-code tools is you can give your sales or account manager or customer service people lots of tools for them and automation to better serve their customers. And then you can open that as well on the digital platform, so self-serve, chatbot, stuff like this. But once your people have the tools to serve their customer very well, it's really, really powerful, really powerful. And that's another trend we're seeing is make your customer service people are one of the, if not to say the most, they're your advocate. They're more than just a guy answering a customer question. They are your representative of the brand, so the customer experience. So give them the tool set and open the tool set as well on the digital way. So customer can go and serve themselves, and if they're stuck, boom, since you have the 360-degree profile, your digital is aligned with your traditional, when they call or they reach out to you, you can serve them. Because and Gabriela will probably agree on that. Making a mistake with one of your customer, it's never good. But if you behave super well and you say, we've made a mistake, here's what we're going to do to correct this mistake, it could be okay. It could be, you can come out of this greater than before because your customer will see, what, they really care. And at the end, that's what you want from a great customer experience. It's just not remodeling your problem, is making sure that your customer trusts you because they say, what, I'm having a partnership here. It's not just a transactional relationship.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And I would add to that, it is not just from the moment they reach out to you. It starts, as you said beforehand, whenever they're looking for information, how they find you, and the content that you make available to your customers to self-serve themselves in whatever query they have, whatever aspect of your product. And what we need to do from inside the company is understand the drivers that makes our customers contact us, right? And through which channel. And that analytics is very important for driving and for actually designing your journey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And this is a great segue into my next question, guys. So since we are on the no-code revolution event here for Accelerate, how do you feel that no-code actually helps customer service organizations adapt to those new trends and help them form their strategy going forward?
Mm-hmm. So the low-code is a way to create value faster. That's how I see it. It's first, in the United States, the stats last week, there's 10.4 million jobs opening. So because the shortage of worker, 1 million of them is developers. So if you go first, there's an execution capacity that companies will have, and customer experience is super important. So this approach of low code or no code enables to create value faster, because you can have the resources in order to create that change and go rapidly on an execution pace that's faster. And what I like about the low code, no code, is it creates a culture of innovation, because people think, okay, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. It's not that complicated, right? Compared to a traditional IT project, when there you go to a software development lifecycle and a project management lifecycle that's quite complex, and there's releases, and so we know what it is, but there's always some risk. There's always some governance you have to put in place. While in the mindset of the low code, you say, okay, for sure, there's a way of deploying it. Don't want to mess up everything by throwing lots of things. But the culture of innovation supported by a change management strategy, very powerful. So those are my two preferred things that you can that customer, they are my preferred, because this is what our customers realize by having a low code approach.
And the other thing, and we mentioned this before, the customer journey, it is not always easy to get to a point where you can say, well, yeah, this is the journey, and I implemented the journey into whatever tools you're using. So I think this flexibility is very important. I would also mention one thing that I mentioned in the previous talk. It is important to focus first in the happy path, because if you get crazy with all the features that you have, it is easy for you to get lost. So starting with the happy path and an MVP, and then increasing or improving at each wave, that is, for me, the best path to follow. But not forget about designing the future or the to-be state of your customer experience journey, right? You can start by designing that and the end goal, right? And then the way you're gonna approach to it could be in different waves, right? Of improvement or innovation, as Sebastian said. So really, having a bespoke tool or having a tool that can adapt to those needs is very important. It is crucial because it will be also a great asset for you to adapt to what the customer needs, right? The end goal or your customer experience journey should be revisited every 3 or 2 months to make sure that it is still valid, right, for your audience or for your customers. The other things that I would add, and with a platform that is or allows you to create this bespoke environment, is the integration of additional technology, right? Self-service is very important. So your strategy in the self-service world would be crucial as well, and how it is linked to or how it drives your client to reach out to you, and then the journey, how it continues. Automation and also digital learning, because you can understand, as Sebastian said before, where you committed a mistake with a customer, right? And enabling the digital learning or some tips tips and tricks for your team in the right moment at the right time for a given purpose. That is going to be crucial as well, because it will allow you to improve anytime your customer experience and as well get and reach to the end goal that you said before.
Excellent. Yeah, I think that these are great tips, guys, by the way. Like, and you're, like I had mentioned, you're living in this world, you see this with your customers, and you've got a lot of experience helping to design this, for them. I'm getting the wrap-up message here, guys. So as we move to the end, we've shared some great tips on strategizing and how to adapt to these trends. Within the last couple of minutes here, what other tips could we provide people that may be looking at improving their service operations or implementing no code within their strategy? What are our final tips for them, guys?
I would say one of the tips is always listen to your customer. One of the things of the low code is whatever your customer gives you as a feedback, implement it right away. So you don't have to do, okay, this year what we're going to do, it's like Gabriela mentioned, it's a different mindset. You're always going to be improving with small improvement where you're going to find and recover ROI more rapidly as well. So be quick, be adaptive for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as Simon Sinek said, with the theory of start with why, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it, right? So I would say there are like 4 pillars that you need to keep in mind. Build your strategy and build your leadership around your customer experience journey. The voice of the customer is very important. The third one is engineering, experience engineering, right? Like make it happen, right? And with low-code tools, that is easily more easy. And then the employee experience. You cannot make your customers feel something if your employees aren't transmitting it in the right way and if they're not happy with what they're doing.
Yeah, Gabriela, I'm so glad you mentioned that. That's like such an important part of the journey that I think gets left out a lot, right? Service is not an easy job, but you find that service personnel are wanting to be helpful, right? They want to be able to address customer concerns and answer questions very very quickly. However, if they're not empowered with the tools, that job can feel cumbersome, and that translates into a poor customer experience. So if it's hard for an employee to address a customer question, that's gonna translate, and that's gonna leave a bad customer experience as well. So thank you for bringing that up. That's like a huge point. Well, perfect, guys. I think that this has been a tremendous discussion. As with all of them, we could probably use another 30 minutes just to keep talking about this, but we really want to thank you for joining this session. You guys have tremendous experience in this area, and I'm sure the audience has gotten a lot of good tips and advice on how to move forward with their strategy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Eric.